Right. So I'm going to start now. So, hello everyone. I'm Jay. I'm from the Placement and International Program Office. I'm here just to give you a little bit guidance about your summer school application. And at the end of the presentation, you're free to ask any kinds of question you may have about the application. So today's agenda, we're going to start with how to request and to open application. And then a little bit guidance about access my placement and also your personal application. And then I'll give you a bit suggestion about how to write a great application. Finally, just Q&A. So, as some of you probably already did that before, but in order to get an application for your summer school, you need to email us to request to open an application first. So generally, to be eligible to apply for summer school, you must have a grade average to at least 50% and 60% for Ahu University. You must be an undergraduate student in any year apart from your final year or your foundation year. To request to open application, just simply by email us your name, your student ID, and then your current year of study to go aboard at manchester.ac.uk by the 12th of February. So that's a deadline for you to request to open application. So this is the deadline of everything. So for all summer school, the actual application deadline is the 18th of February. Just before midnight, and the deadline to request to open application will be the 12th of February. So now we're just going to walk through about My Placement, which is the main website where you're going to use for your summer school application and also how to access your application. And so in case you haven't given it a look yet, so the main website called My Placement. If you already request to open application, then you can already click the link from the email that's sent out from My Placement to sign in to My Placement and then start your application. But just before you want to have a look about all the brochure, about all the summer school, you can also have a look at placement without logging into it. So if you just simply Google My Placement UM and you can come here and then you will find this, which is PIP Summer School, or simply you can just go into undergrad students and then just follow along and then you can find this brochure eventually as well. So that's the main website for all summer school, the main brochure for all the summer school. So under the overview tab, you can see all the deadline about eligibility, about the deposit information, about all the dates of the summer school. So this is the most up-to-date and accurate one for the summer school date and a lot of information. And then here you can find summer school week links. And yeah, and then by following this tab, you can have a look about each summer school, each summer school's brochure, which got a lot more information about accommodation, about academia, more support and resources. So that's literally a very general introduction for you about My Placement, which is the main website. So once you request to open application and then you'll receive an email from My Placement to ask you can now log into My Placement and start your application. By logging into My Placement, it will bring you to this page. So that's the website. So once you click the link and you'll be able to log into My Placement, this will be your applicant home. So this will going to be your page look like. So you're going to be, you can find the summer school application here. So it's PIP Summer School, and you can find the deadline here and the location, everything here as well. And then by click that, it will just bring you to the actual application. So this will be your page look like as well. So this is just like a testing application from me, but it's going to be what your page look like as well. So you can find requirements, program info, you can find all the dates here. Please do remember the date here is not arrival date and departure date. So the dates here actually is the first day of the summer school and then the last day of summer school. So for this day, you should already be there and you still should be there at the last day. and it's just because the system called arrival date and departure date. So please do follow all the dates available here, of all the days of summer school, and also follow the email that we send out to students. Here. So you can also find decision day here, by the way. You can find a decision day where we're gonna release application result. So for here, once you want to start your application, you just go through by the instruction here. So you can just read all this. I'm not going to read everything here, but you can see for your summer school application, there's 3 main requirements for you to follow in. So basically the application, the withdrawal agreement, and finally to sign this before you actually submit your application. From here, you can see we do recommend students to have a look at application guidance notes, because very important, it's very detailed about what is a good application, how we actually give students score based on the application, and a lot more information on that. So please do have a look about application guidance notes. So once you click get started, or just simply pressing choose any document, you can just start your application now. So follow the online application here. You can refer to the application guidance notes as well. So here you can find directly to this document, which is very important. You can see from the contents, we have a lot more information about how to start your application, how to access your application. And you actually can have access to this document before you can log into My Placement. You just simply go to the brochure, and then here you will be able to find here application guidance note, and then the FAQs. You can also find this document on each summer school's brochure as well. So do please have a look about this document, which is very important. And yeah, so get started. For the summer school application, you need to choose your all your options for choosing your top 3, and you need to provide justification for only your top 3. You can see you can choose your first choice, first choice justification, and then the second one, the justification, and so third, and then you don't need to provide any justification for your fourth, your fifth, and sixth choices. So only the top 3. You can also choose only one summer school, and then just leave all the rest choices as blank. And we know, you just want to go on. But we do recommend students to choose more than just one summer school, because some destinations are very competitive and more popular compared to other summer schools. So choosing more than one option can give you actually a higher chance to be at least allocated at one of the summer school. But please do not choose any destination that you do not want to go to. So do choose the one you actually want to go to and provide a good justification. So this is basically the justification, first page. And here you can see the language level, which you can just choose your language level under the European framework. But we don't really include Mandarin here, but because Mandarin doesn't really follow the European framework levels. So just choose what you currently have under this. It's not just leave like blank or everything, like just randomly choose one and choose not. You don't have that language level. And then go to the second page will be the personal statement. You can also here click the guidance note again to have a deeper look about what is your personal statement. So for the personal statement, So for the justification, how to write a good justification is, we do see students as the best way to do it is just to provide both personal reasons and academic reasons. I'm just going to briefly talk about this right now, and then later on during the further how to write a good presentation, how to do a good application, I'll give more details about it. But just here, first, justification, and then go to your personal statement here. So that's basically everything about the application. And then you can just finally choose where did you hear about this opportunity here, and just choose one. And then once you click done here, you won't be able to change anything about your application anymore. So the best way to do actually is to try to write everything in your Word document and maybe try to copy and paste when you try to submit your application. Because sometimes my placement refresh over time, and if you don't save anything, it might just gonna automatically got erased. So the best way to do it is just to write everything and save everything in Word document and copy and paste in your application when you try to submit it. So just remember, once you press done here, you won't be able to change everything about your application anymore. And then the next two requirements for you to do is the summer school withdrawal agreement and the summer school declaration. So for the summer school withdrawal agreement, they're both just signed document. So this is, please do read through everything. Okay, just go through. But please do read everything through about these two document before actually you sign it, because they have a lot more information about what you should know. This document doesn't really work sometimes, the website. But yeah, just remember, because my placement is really tricky sometimes. Like right now, it's got users gonna froze from time to time. So it's best way to do it. It's just really saving a Word document. Otherwise, you might just gonna lost everything if you haven't really submitted. And then please do read through everything about this two document before you sign it. We do have a lot of very important information here. And once you sign both two documents, and then we'll pop up to a button that says submit now, and then you'll be able to submit your, a submit button will appear at the top of the page. When you click submit, your application will be logged and sent for review by the Placement International Program Office. So do remember, even though you sign all the documents, you have clicked done after you did your application, you still need to submit everything to finish your actual application. And once you click everything, and that's it, that's everything done for the summer school application. And then, yeah. Back here. I'm just going to do this anyway. Okay, so how to do a summer school justification. So you should include a combination of academic, personal, and location-related reason for choosing a summer school. So this is the reason you have to give a very detailed justification, because you are writing a justification for each summer school. So you have to really around that summer school to write justification. We normally see very good application when you mentioned all academic reason, personal reason, and why you really want to go there, just without giving too generic reason for why you want to go there. You can't really say, oh, I want to go to South Korea summer school because I never been there and I really just want to go to South Korea, and that's it, because that's too general. We do see a lot of application like that, but in that case, we can't really give you any good point for this, because you can see here is the strength of the reason for choosing summer school. So 0 is not demonstrated at all, and 1 is weak, and 1 is weak reason, and 2 is only good, partially demonstrated. And if you only give strong, fully demonstrated reason, we can only give you 3. So just remember to do a lot of research about the summer school itself, and then try to give very detailed reason in your application. You can find all the information available on my placement, so that will be your main resource. You can just have a look about the just turn down. You can give a different look about all the details of a summer school first before you start your application, because in that case, you can write a really good justification just for that summer school. Especially for the summer school in South Korea and Denmark, they do have a full list of the module they're offering, the courses they're offering for you to choose from if you're successful to study at that summer school. So you can start from there as well. So you can just say you want to go there because you're kind of interested in Korean history or Asian art history, and that can actually bring a good point to your application justification. And for personal statement, work is from 3 angles when we try to give you a score as well. So it's from your academic reason and also your personal cultural reason, and also what would make you a good ambassador for the University of Manchester while you're abroad. So the first 2 points is like the same as well. It will be like academic reason and personal and cultural reason. But this is for more general reason why you want to go to a summer school rather than a very detailed reason to go to that one summer school. So this one shouldn't really include a lot of like location related reason why you want to go there, because this is personal statement for you, why you want to be part of the summer school program rather than why you want to go to that country. That makes sense. So, and the last point is what would make you a good ambassador is because we want to see what kind of equality you have to be a good ambassador for the University of Manchester. And that can come from a lot of angles, like if you have done some part-time job, or you have been a peer mentor, or you have been one of the society, or be part of like what kind of like club, just see what kind of quality you have. You can have something like customer services, or you have been to a lot of countries, travel abroad, or you have been volunteered in different countries. So those can bring you a lot of qualities of what you have gained from your past experience can make you a good ambassador for the University of Manchester. You can find a lot more detail about this, about how to write good personal statement and good justification in the application guidance note. But here I'm just giving you an idea how we actually get points based on that. And yeah, so about what kind of quality you have to be a good ambassador, please to try to focus more what have you get from your past experience rather than focus too much of what have you done. So it will be a good commendation if you mentioned what you have done before, but most important is see what kind of skill and quality you get out of from it and how you can use that for the summer school program to be a good ambassador. And yeah, so you can find more detail about this, the application guidance note and also the fact sheet, which is here as well. So the FAQ. So you can find all the information about all summer school as well. So what are summer school? What are the benefits of summer school? And am I eligible? Where can I find all the information? Also, can I just select one summer school on my application? How are places allocated? How competitive it is? So we got a lot more information. You can see we've got 7 pages. So there's a lot of information about that. And about the nomination and withdrawals. So a lot more information. So please do have a look about all the documents available at my placement, because that can really help you when you try to finish your application. I'm just going to see if this still work, maybe. Yeah, so just come back to this. It's about the withdrawal agreement. You can see it's very detailed. Please note from this year, we are charging a deposit to the value of £50. So once you have been successful, you have been allocated at one of the summer school, you need to confirm your place on my placement and also need to pay for a deposit. And at that stage, your place at summer school is finally confirmed. And if any student who have been allocated but didn't really pay for a deposit, we're just going to withdraw you after the deadline. And all deposit will be returned once we have the confirmation that you have started your summer school program. And you are allowed to withdraw due to any unforeseen exceptional situation. But in that case, please contact us or the tutoring team. But just give you information without, if you are not under any unforeseen circumstances, you are not really allowed to withdraw from the program. This is due to the partnership. We try to maintain the good partnership with our partners, and also we try to secure places for our students as well. And then finally, summer school declaration. About this, just read through everything before you sign it. It's very important. You don't really want to miss any details about this. And after you sign everything, and then you just submit, and then everything will be sorted. Yeah, okay. And there's also, I got a few application top tips. So please do spend time on writing a detailed choice justification for each of your top 3 choices, as your application is looked at as a whole. Do prove, oh, sorry, just forgot to mention that. If you have choose, for example, you really just want to go to maybe one summer school, you choose that one as your first choice, and then you choose your second and your third summer school choices, but you didn't provide any justification, you just leave it, but you still choose that as your second choice. We're still going to mark that, but because you didn't provide any justification, that will be a 0, rather than we're just going to put a note, because if you only choose one and you leave all the choices blank, we're just going to mark you, okay, this student only pick one, and we're going to give you a score based on that. But if you choose all 3, but only provide justification for just one, we're still going to give you a score based on the original score that for 3 choices. Does that make sense? So if you don't, so that's just a reminder for you, is your application is look at it as a whole. So rather than you only write a good justification for your first one, are you going to that one if the rest of your justification are not really strong demonstrated? It's because it will be seen as a whole application. So just try to make sure you give a lot of efforts on each part of the application, and do be careful when you choose your summer school destination. And do proofread your application, and also do make it on your own. We want to hear about your interest. So we know there is increasing trend that students are using just general information. So do please try to write a very detailed application just from you. Give us detail why you want to go to the summer school program, and make us know your reason and know about you as well. And do read the guidance notes thoroughly, because that's very detailed document. We got a lot of information about what is a good application, what is a good personal statement. So it's very important. And also do read all documents carefully before signing it, because it means a lot to you after you sign the document, because that's your responsibility to read through all the documents before you sign it. And about all the don'ts, don't rely on AI tools to write your application. It's very obvious sometimes if students use AI tool during the applications, and in that case, it's normally too generic. It's not really detailed, because the AI wrote that application for you instead of you putting effort in that application. So it's not really very a lot of details about you, about your reasons. You can use that for like proofreading or like general structure, but try to just don't really copy and paste from the AI tools, because in that case, it won't be a very good and detailed application. And don't give a generic answer that you won't help us learn about you, your interest, and your personality. So again, make it about your personal statement rather than a very generic application. And don't forget to sign declarations too. So again, you need to sign 2 documents, complete your application, and then you can submit your final application. So please do remember to sign the documents. So that will be your final step to finish your application. If you don't sign the documents, your application won't be submitted and probably won't be reviewed as well. Yeah, and I think that's it. And if you have any questions, I can just answer them. And you can also get in touch with us by emailing goonboard@manchester.ac.uk. So this is actually, we still got one more session tomorrow about the funding. So Remember to select that one if you have any question about the Turing scheme, and then that's it. And you will be able to find all the other summer school information session available on the brochure, on my placements brochure. And yeah, and also the original Go Board website, you can find the link to the summer school recording as well. So here, summer school week, and then you can find here. Click here to find a recording of the session, and once you click here, it will bring you to our YouTube channel, and then you'll be able to see all the recording for the other sessions. Yeah. So first question is, in the personal statement, do we need to mention specific summer school I would like to attend? So personal statement is more like a general, like I mentioned before, it's a more general reason why you want to go to the summer school program rather than just for one summer school. But of course you can mention, but it shouldn't be a huge part of your personal statement because you already mentioned the reason why you want to go to that summer school in your justification. So you already mentioned that in the specific summer school justification. So just try not to repeat yourself in your personal statement again. And do they add up to the point for all the summer school? Does it impact our chances of getting it if we only apply to one or two? So if you only apply for one or two, that means you only choose your first and or your second. So you only choose, for example, you're applying for just one, and you leave all the other choices blank, and then that's fine. So we only see the student apply one, and we're just gonna give you on a score for one summer school applications score rather than still give you a score for all summer school. If that makes sense. For example, if the total score, it is not, I'm just made this up, but if your total score is like 10 points, and then you can choose up to 2 summer schools, and you only choose one, and then we'll just give you a score, and then we're gonna mark it's like 5 out of 10. So we're still just gonna give you a grade based on how many you apply. So we won't really add up all the summer school if you only apply for one. But of course, like I said again, if you did put your destination as your first, second, third, you fill up all the choices, but you didn't provide any justification. In that case, we will just give you 0 because you didn't mention any justification. So only thing you need to make sure is once you put a choice, your first option or second or third option down, you do provide justification. It just come together. If you choose that, you need to provide justification. If you leave it blank, then it's fine. There's no justification. So we will put as an A rather than 0. Sorry, just really complicated. I'm not trying to figure out a way to say it easy. And so it is based on the quality of application rather than first. Yes, it's of course based on the quality of your application rather than first come, first served basis. It won't be like that. Yeah, it's based on once you meet the grade average, then we're just gonna evaluate your quality of your application as well. What exactly does being an ambassador include? So you can find this in the application guidance note. It will be so you can find all the detail of the application guidance note, but all I can say right now is just what kind of quality you have to be a good ambassador, which means what kind of soft skill, what kind of quality you have. That should make sense now. What kind of quality you have, why we should consider you as one of the successful applicants for the summer school program, what kind of skills you have, what kind of qualities you have. And that's from what kind of, whatever kind of past experience you have, like part-time job or any kind of society you have been or volunteers. All that kind of quality can make you a good ambassador. How likely is that you get into your first or second choices? So I get that question a lot about how competitive it can be. It depends on what you choose as your first and your second choices. Obviously, we have less places for Aarhus and for SNU summer school because they only have like 10 to 15 places. But also, how keen student to apply for this, how popular that summer school can be is another question as well. So I can't give you a number of like how likely you can get into first and second choice. It depends on how many students are applying this year, how many places we have, and how good is your application, which is very important. If you do write a good application, then it's more likely to get your first and your second choices. If you just provide a very general application, then you might not be successful at all for the summer school program. Yeah, I think that's all the question. Yes, you do only get accepted into one choices. So when you complete your application, it should be in the order of your preference. So the first one obviously will be the one you definitely your first choice of the summer school. And then further down, it will be your list preference of the summer school destination. And we try to allocate everybody based on their first preference and try to allocate everybody into their first or their second choices. But of course, we have limited places. And also it depends on everybody's the quality of the application and your grade average as well. But yeah, generally you do only get accepted into one choice. How many people usually apply for SNU? I can't say a certain number because I don't really remember, but it's a lot. It's very popular to go to South Korea summer school. And yeah, it's probably probably the most popular summer school destination for all students and every year as well. Any other question? Okay, so that's all then. That'll be everything for today. And if you do have any questions, do remember to email us at goaboard@manchester.ac.uk. And also you can have a look about our recording online on our YouTube channel. And yeah, and you haven't request to open application, you can just do it now by emailing us. Yeah, thank you.